Hello friends, welcome back to my channel English Wave. My name is Gurpreet Ram and in today's video I'm going to discuss third passage from the Reading 1 of Cambridge 1. And the title of the passage is Architecture Reaching for the Sky. So without wasting your time, I'm going to discuss question number 29 to 35. So in this type of questions, we are supposed to complete the graph by using the information from the reading passage 3. Always remember, don't write down the words more than the prescribed limit. Okay, let's start. First column is of period and the second is of style of period, then building materials and characteristics. So period wise, it will be very easy to find out the location of the answers. So let's start with the first question of this passage, that is 29th question. Before 18th century, the writer is talking about before 18th century, and style of period was traditional that time. And we are supposed to find out the building materials of that time. So let's find out in the passage. So in the first two paragraphs, the writer has told little bit about the 18th and 19th centuries. And in the third paragraph, instead of using timber, stone and traditional building techniques, yes, the writer has started telling about the material of buildings. So two things the writer has used here: material, that is timber and stone, and traditional building techniques. If writer is talking about traditional building techniques, means obviously he is talking about 18th century. So our answer would be timber and stone. So I'll put the answer timber and stone here. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 30. The period writer is talking about 1920s, and the style of period we are supposed to find out. Little bit clues is given here. Introduction of dash, and the building material that was used in this era was steel, glass and concrete. Some characteristics of this period were exploration of latest technology. Okay, let's find out the answer in the passage. So in the whole fourth paragraph, the writer is talking about 1920s. So by the 1920s, architects throughout Europe were reacting against conditions created by industrialization. A new style of architecture emerged to reflect more idealistic notions for the future. It was made possible by new materials and construction techniques, was known as Modernism. Modernism. Yes, this is our answer, Modernism. So Modernism was introduced in this era. So I'll put the answer here. Now we are talking about 1930 to 1950. And we are supposed to tell the style of period. Let's find out in the passage. So read the second paragraph of the second column. By the 1930s, many buildings emerging from this movement were designed in the international style. Yeah, this is our answer. We were looking for the style of this period. The style of this period was international style. So I'll put the answer here. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 32. Now we are talking about 1960s. Let's find out the answer. Sorry, read the second paragraph of the third column. Influenced by Le Corbusier's ideas on town planning, every large British city built multi-story housing estates in the 1960s. Mass-produced, low-cost high-rises seem to offer a solution to the problem of housing a growing inner city population. But far from meeting human needs, the new estates often prove to be windswept deserts lacking essential social facilities and services. So in this whole paragraph, a lot of characteristics are mentioned. For example, multi-story housing. This is one of the characteristics. Then, low-cost high-rises. And one more is there, poorly designed. These are some of the characteristics of the design of 1960s. Le Corbusier was a Swiss architect and who is regarded as the pioneer of the modern architect. And he was the one who has prepared the master plan of the Chandigarh. So I can put any of one characteristics over there. Multi-house. Let's move to the next question. Question number 33. Now we are talking about 1970s. What happened in this era? End of the modernist era. Then what type of material was used? Traditional materials were used. Then dash of historic buildings. We have to fill this dash. Let's find out the answer in the passage. So for this, let's see the last paragraph on this page. By the 1970s, a new respect for the place of buildings within the existing townscape arose. Preserving historic buildings or keeping only their facades grew common. So we are looking for the characteristics of this era. Characteristics was preserving historical buildings. So our answer would be preservation of historical buildings. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 34. In 1970s, beginning of dash era. Which type of era it was? We are supposed to find out. Let's find out in the passage. So we are talking about the same era. So I'll keep reading. Or keeping their facades grew common, architects also began to make more use of building styles and materials that were traditional to the area. The architectural style usually referred to as high-tech. What was the style? High-tech. So this is our answer, high-tech era. So I'll put the answer here. Okay, let's move to the last question of this type. Question number 35. We are talking about 1980s. That is post-modernism. And we are supposed to find out the characteristics of this era. Let's find out in the passage. So for this, let's read the last paragraph of the first column. Disillusionment at the failure of many of the poor imitations of modernist architecture led to interest in various styles and ideas from the past and present. So by the 1980s, the coexistence of different styles of architecture in the same building became known as postmodern. Postmodern era we are talking about. And what is the characteristics here? Coexistence of different styles. So we are supposed to put only 3 words here. So we have to decide that which 3 words are best, which can explain the things. So coexistence of different doesn't make any sense. So ultimately word will be coexistence of styles. That will be our answer. So I'll put answer here. Okay, let's move to the next type of questions. Okay, let's see question number 36 to 40. So in this type of question, we have two columns, list A and list B. The list A, causes are there, and on the list B, some effects are there. We have to match these causes with the effects. Okay, let's find out. Let's solve the question number 36. A rapid movement of people from rural areas to cities is triggered by technological advance. So we are supposed to find out here rapid movements of people. Let's find out in the passage. So for this question, see the second last paragraph from the first column, starting with the technological advances also helped bring about the decline of rural industries and an increase in urban population as people moved to the towns to work in the new factories. So such rapid and uncontrolled growth helped to turn parts of cities into slums. So this is our cause, rapid and uncontrolled growth in the population, and this is our effect, help to turn parts of cities into slum. So let's see the effect in the list. Here it is, option number G. Parts of cities become slums. So this is our answer. So I'll put G here. So let's move to the next question. Question number 37. Buildings become simple and functional. Let's find out which type of buildings are simple. See the third passage in the second column. After the international style, this was largely characterized by the bold use of new materials and simple geometric forms. Simple. This is our word which is describing this. Simple geometric forms, often with the white walls supported by stilt-like pillars. So these were stripped of unnecessary decoration that would detract from their primary purpose. These were stripped of unnecessary decoration. This is our effect. This is the cause. Style is simple and these were stripped of unnecessary decoration. This is our effect. Let's find out in the effect list. Yes, there it is. F. All decoration is removed. Stripped off means remove. So I'll put the answer here. Let's move to the next question. Question number 38. An economic depression and the Second World War hit Europe. So Second World War is our keyword here. We have to find out this one. Second World War. Let's find out in the passage. Here it is. War on cities. So I'll start reading from here. But the economic depression of the 1930s and the Second World War prevented their ideas from being widely realized. Prevented their ideas from being widely realized. So due to Second World War, ideas were not widely realized here until the economic conditions improved and war-torn cities had to be rebuilt. So World War is our cause here, and what is the effect of that World War? That prevented their ideas from being widely used or realized. So let's put the answer. Yes, there it is. H. Modernist ideas cannot be put into practice until the second half of 20th century. So I'll put the answer here. Let's move to the next question. Question number 39. Multi-story housing estates are built according to contemporary ideas on town plan. Contemporary idea means idea of the same time. Okay, let's find out the answer in the passage. One architecture is mentioned here, Le Corbusier, who had given the idea on the town planning, and so we'll read that paragraph. Influenced by Le Corbusier's ideas on town planning, every large British city built multi-story housing estates in the 1960s. Mass-produced, low-cost high-rises seem to offer a solution to the problem of housing a growing inner city population. But far from meeting human needs, the new estates often prove to be windswept deserts lacking essential social facilities and services. So many of these buildings were poorly designed and constructed and have since been demolished. Yes, demolished. Causes Le Corbusier has given the idea of town plan. That is the contemporary idea. And what was the effect of this idea? That the buildings were poorly designed and constructed and have since been demolished. And what was the effect? Demolished. Okay, let's find out the option and the effect. Yes, there it is. Option C. A number of these have been knocked down. Knocked down means demolished. So I'll put C here. Okay, let's move to the last question. Less land must be used for building. Less land. Let's find out. Read the last paragraph. 20th century architecture will mainly be remembered for its tall buildings. Tall buildings means less land is to be used. So they have been made possible by the development of light steel frames and safe passenger lifts. What was the cause? That less land is to be used. What was the effect of that cause? They are supposed to make tall buildings. For tall buildings, they have been made possible by the development of light steel frames and safe passenger lifts. Uses of light steel frames and safe passenger lifts. This is our effect. Yes, D. Light steel frames and lifts are developed. So I'll put D here. So that's all for this passage. Now we are going to discuss some important words and expressions from this passage. So our first word is detract. Detract means to take away from or to reduce anything. Some synonyms are to decrease, diminish, depreciate. Can you please detract your attention from the mobile phone for some time? So in this way we can use it. So our next word is demolish. Demolish means to destroy or to knock down. Generally we use demolish word for to destroy the buildings. Government is demolishing the buildings from the encroached areas. So that's all for this video. If you like the video, please do share, subscribe to my channel and like the videos. So I'll see you in the next video.